2024, so it's time for me to do my annual year-end review. That would, of course, be 2023. So let's see how we did. I usually like to look at these three numbers right there. So the 69.1 thousand views is up by about 14.5%. Watch time hours is up by about, it looks like about 18%. And the subscribers, let's see what that's up by. Up about 15%. It's not linear, just a little bit past linear progression. That's nice. Let's see, what else have I got? Let's do some of the interesting and weird events that happened as far as videos go. All right, the magnesium case video. Why did I pick this one? Yeah, I picked this one because, once again, it is still... It bottoms down here and then it picks up a little tiny bit. It's still got that weird kind of a shape to it. It's nice. It's got some, gets pretty decent hours. Had a big surge right in here for some reason, but you know, it gets pretty steady playtime. Good video. Just got a comment on it today, but that's a 2024 comment. Guy saying, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense. The aluminum case, it's a heat sink. How could it not be a heat sink? Just the physics dictate that it must absolutely be a heat sink. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's see. I've got a Hoover mod video here. Which is this one about? This is, let me see. Oh yeah, 92% of the time. Let's see, what have I got? Custom date, all year. Doesn't get too many views. Doesn't get too many hours. The people that watch it, though, they watch it pretty much all the way through, so it's got a good watch percentage. It just doesn't get a whole lot of airtime. Keep that in mind. It's just, as far as the Hoover mod stuff goes, that's pretty typical. Let's look at another one of the Hoover mods. Okay, this is about the oil drillings inside the case. Again, people that watch, they pretty much watch. Picked up a subscriber, that's nice, but nothing huge, nothing really unusual stands out right there. Nice little video. Let's continue on. This guy gets pretty heavy duty. A lot of hits, 686, not bad. Get some subscribers out of it, it's good. Not quite as much view time. It is a long video, so it loses a few people. But again, there's nothing really crazy in here. It just gets pretty steady viewing. Now we come to something that's a little bit on the unusual side. It's the airplane video. And this guy right here, I didn't realize there were that many airplane people out there. But very steady watch time. Views. I know I got some airplane people out there, so that's good. But even that, there's nothing really special that stands out. Let's take a look at another Hoover mod video. Check out that spike right there. Okay. Another Hoover mod video. Look at that spike right there. And this is bizarre. As we come back into this, did I get any subscribers? No, that subscriber did not subscribe in and around that peak. I got 2 subscribers. All right, so one of them subscribed around the peak, but it was only around the peak. Let's go back to the views. What day was that? August 31st. August 31st. So I got 1 subscriber on that peak right there. Let's see, 164,505. Okay, this is the primary video. It gets more views than the other one does. So what happened? In order to know what happened on that particular spike, we have to go into reach. So how do viewers find this video? Browsing, 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 suggested, but then you go down to external sites and apps, and somebody posted links to these 2 videos over at the Samba. And I tell you, when I saw that, I was very tempted to pull them, because I like to keep a lot of my content away from the Samba for the following reason. Okay, lots of views. Look at all those views right there. All right, that spike is on September 1st, but the big spike was on the 31st. So a whole bunch of people were exposed to it on the 31st, but it didn't produce many watch hours, which is why I don't do it. The bulk of the people at the Samba don't have the background to understand what I'm trying to say, and they'll find it boring. Ooh, numbers, you know, that's not how it works. Hoover said this, Berg said that. Raby spent 2,000 hours on the dyno and told us that something else was happening. Don't care about those guys. The channel's about what's really happening and not about, attending the church of Bird Hoover Arabi. But, yeah, so anyway, that's what happened with those Hoover vids. And that one there, sorry, that one. A link through to the Santa. Anyway, this is another bizarre one right here. For some reason, YouTube, once again, picked out one of my videos and decided to throw it in front of people. Impressions. It got lots of impressions. I get any views? Yeah, I got a big spike in views for a TARP video. All right, that's just bizarre. Anyway, that's the bizarre one that YouTube, offered up to me. Didn't get any subscribers out of it, but they said, here you go. We'll push your video and see what happens. All right, I think we need to dive into now the data. Check it out. All right, let me pause right here. So let's take a look at the VW content. Did I do anything this year that did well? 2023. Well, that one hasn't been out for very many days. 50 days. So it hasn't been around much. This is going to drop. It's not going to stay up there. Anything else that I do this year did well. TARP, we already talked about that. That was a fluke that the algorithms just happened to throw that one out and people watched. 2023, Compy Foreign Road Trip. And if you look at these minutes versus a good video, which is like the master cylinder video, that doesn't do much. So apparently the content that I put out this year, which is primarily involving electronic ignitions, did not actually go over too well. So I guess people don't care about electronic ignitions. Geez, other than that, I haven't got much to say about that. Let's move on to one of the other topics. Miscellaneous stuff doing well. I didn't actually put out any videos like this year, but still popping along pretty good. Suzuki content. It looks like I did one video this year right there. 2 minutes per day, about 1 view per day. How long has it been up? Less than 100 days. That's a little bit disappointing. That's a pretty common repair. I figured that would have done a little bit better. Maybe it just takes time to get traction. All right, here's my Elan content, and I only did one video this year. Minor topic, so we'll just dismiss that. Okay, how about some fishing content? The only videos that managed to crack into the top piece that I actually look at were all from 2023, so that's pretty good. May, June, I didn't even do anything in July. August is usually a sucky month, didn't make it. September, October, November, yes. But anyway, as far as this stuff goes, I had one of those interesting little experiences. I forget when I was fishing. It was probably sometime in August. I was out on the dam, and some guy was walking by. He was like, hey, how's it going down there? And I was like, oh, man, it's like slow. It's really bad and whatnot. The guy said, hey, is your name Scott? And I was like, yeah. He says, I watch your videos. So I encountered a fellow fisherman who recognized my voice because I have the distinctive Ray Romano. Everybody loves Raymond's voice. So chatted with him. I think his name was Scott. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. All right, these are my technical content videos. And I wonder how many of these I actually have. Oh, it doesn't actually tell you how many. Anyway, these are the technical videos. Group 6, what's doing well? Minutes per day, 42.9 minutes per day. I just find that hard to believe. Because this is about electronic ignitions. And my general electronic ignition videos don't play very well, but this one seems to play well. So, I don't understand. I don't understand. This guy right here does well all the time. Some of these guys, they're not out there with enough days to actually know whether they're any good. Is there anything else up here from 2023? What is this one? Serpentine belts. Love it or hate it. I don't like them, but hey, whatever. It's bling. If you like it, knock yourself off. But look, somebody took an opportunity to just say, no, I dislike what you're saying there. It's like, great. Now, again, I said in the video that it's your car, do what you want, just that they do not do what they promised to do, which is cool your vehicle better than stock. All right, what else did I have? Is there anything else from 2003 that looks pretty good in here? Some cooling stuff. How many days has that guy been out? 147? That's not bad. Minutes per day is not great. Views per day, just a little bit over 1. Anything else from 2023? Nothing that warrants mention. But I will say this: if you come over here to some of these dislikes, and I forget which one it was. I had one of these things that somebody took exception to. They got pissed and wrote a nasty gram. I forget who they were praising. They were either praising Berg or Hoover, and it was complete, total rubbish nonsense. So because YouTube has got a name, I went out and I looked the guy's name up, and then I went off over to the Samba to see what kind of postings he did on the Samba. And he's a moron on the Samba too. So you come over to my channel and you do moronic stuff, I delete your comments, and then I ban you from the channel. You don't want to learn anything? Then go off and attend the Church of Hoover. Bow down. All hail Hoover. All hail Berg. But I also had somebody who came on and told me about how Jake Raby has 200 hours on the dyno. I don't care how many hours Raby does on the dyno. He supports the Ricardo rule of rod angularity. Therefore, Jake Raby is a dumbass. Don't listen to Raby. The guy hasn't done anybody any favors. So, you know, again, it's the self-server, bow down at my altar. I am your God. You know, it's no, just no. Okay, and that's my takeaway from this stuff. You come over here to the dislikes. These are people who bow down at the altar of the gods, the Volkswagen gods. I'm not going to step down at their altar. The only thing I do is physics, and that's like God. It's physics. It's science. Okay, you know, there's a place for religion in your life, but it's not in the back of your Volkswagen. Let's see. One milestone that I did hit this year was hitting the point at which I could apply for monetization. So I did. I forget how many watch hours it took, but you had to have like 700 subscribers plus a certain number of watch hours. I managed to push past both of them. Unfortunately, in order to monetize at this level, the only things that are available for you, as far as I can tell, are the kind of things where I have to ask you for money. I'm not going to ask you for money. All I ask you to do is listen and learn. Now, once I get enough subscribers and the watch hours go up, and if you can see by the chart, clearly if I can get the subscriber count up, I will have the watch hours up. So this one I'm not terribly concerned about, but I do like to push up my subscribers. Let's see, I had 100 and something. I'm still looking at 1.5 to 2 years away at the rate that I'm growing before I get to the point where I can participate in ad revenues. Like I said, I don't want to stick my hand out for money. That's just not really what I was about. I don't even like sticking my hand out to say, subscribe, like, comment. You know, I don't even want to do it. Look, if you want to comment, comment. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. The fewer people who do stuff like that, that allows my channel to kind of slide under the radar. We become like a Volkswagen secret society as opposed to a huge, large chunk of the community. So, and I realize my content is rather unique and specialized. And I've talked to my youngest sister about it, who tells me, oh, you got to lighten up a little bit. But she doesn't understand. It's like, that's not Scotty C's personality. You know, when I see the stupidity, I like to attack the stupidity. And that's kind of what my channel's about. I don't think I got anything else more. I think those stories and whatnot, I think that's about got 2023 covered. Catch you next year.